In a time long ago, before cities rose and the hustle of modern life, there was a village. A village nestled deep within the green hills and flowing rivers of the Igbo land. This village was peaceful, its people kind, though many of them, like Odinaka, a humble farmer, struggled with the hardships of life. Odinaka was known throughout the village not for his wealth, but for his heart. You see, he worked tirelessly on his farm, but the land was stubborn. No matter how much he planted, his crops barely grew. Still, what little he had, he shared. His heart was rich, though his hands were often empty. One afternoon, as Odinaka was toiling under the harsh sun, something strange happened. The air shifted. A soft breeze rustled the leaves, and from nowhere, an old man appeared. He was unlike anyone Odinaka had ever seen. His eyes, bright, full of wisdom. His robe, a swirl of colors that shimmered in the light. The old man leaned on a carved walking stick and gazed at Odinaka. "Young man," the stranger said, his voice deep yet gentle, "I've watched you. You work hard, but your land gives you little. Yet, you never stop giving to others." Odinaka looked up, wiping the sweat from his brow. He was puzzled. "Who are you?" he asked. The old man smiled, his eyes twinkling. "That does not matter. What matters is that you are destined for something greater. There is a yam, a golden yam, hidden deep in the forbidden forest. This yam will bring you endless prosperity. But," his voice lowered, "it is guarded by spirits. To claim it, you must be brave, wise, and pure of heart." Before Odinaka could respond, the old man was gone, as quickly as he had appeared. The field was silent once more, but Odinaka knew his life was about to change. That night, Odinaka couldn't sleep. The thought of the golden yam filled his mind. Could it be true? Could this magical yam be the answer to all his problems? At dawn, he made up his mind. He would go. Dressed in his father's traditional warrior attire, a sign of courage and strength, Odinaka set off into the dense, mysterious forest. His only companion was his machete, and his heart, though pounding with fear, was filled with hope. The forest was unlike anything Odinaka had ever seen. Dark and tangled, the trees twisted like ancient arms, their leaves whispering secrets from long ago. The air was thick, the light barely piercing through the canopy above. For days, Odinaka wandered. The forest seemed endless, and as he ventured deeper, strange sounds surrounded him, whispers, laughter, and the rustling of unseen creatures. But Odinaka pressed on, remembering the old man's words. "Brave, wise, pure of heart," he repeated to himself, over and over. His feet grew tired. His stomach ached from hunger. But just as his hope began to fade, he saw it, a golden glow in the distance. He pushed through the thick vines, his breath quickening. And there, in a clearing, under the massive branches of an ancient Iroko tree, was the golden yam. It shimmered with a light that seemed otherworldly, almost too beautiful to be real. But as Odinaka stepped closer, the ground beneath him trembled. From the earth, spirits rose, beautiful yet terrifying. Their forms were wrapped in mist, their bodies adorned with ancient beads and feathers, their faces painted in patterns of the old ways. These were the guardians of the golden yam, and they surrounded Odinaka. One spirit, taller than the rest, stepped forward. The spirit of harvest. She was graceful and powerful, her voice like the wind. "You have come far," she said, her eyes piercing into Odinaka's soul. "But the golden yam is not easily earned. To take it, you must answer this riddle. What grows from the earth, yet feeds not from it, is treasured by many, but is worth nothing to the selfish. Odinaka's heart raced. He had come so far, he could not fail now. He thought of the land, the crops, and then, he remembered his life. The many times he had given even when he had nothing. The times his neighbors had been hungry, and he shared his last yam with them. Suddenly, he understood. It is generosity, Odinaka answered, his voice steady. Generosity grows when shared, but is worthless when kept to oneself. The spirit of harvest smiled. The spirits around her nodded in approval. With a wave of her hand, the spirits vanished into the mist, leaving only Odinaka and the golden yam. Odinaka carefully dug up the golden yam, cradling it in his hands as if it were the most precious thing in the world. He returned to his village, his heart filled with joy and gratitude. And just as the old man had promised, the golden yam brought endless prosperity. Odinaka's farm flourished, crops sprouted faster, greener, fuller than ever before. But Odinaka didn't keep the yam's magic to himself. He shared it with his people. The entire village prospered, and soon, they were known throughout the land for their generosity and abundance. Odinaka, once a humble farmer, became a symbol of hope and wisdom. His name was spoken with reverence, and his story passed down through the generations of the man who braved the forbidden forest, outwitted the spirits, and returned with a gift that blessed them all. And so, the story of Odinaka and the golden yam reminds us of a simple truth: true wealth is not in what we have, but in what we share. When we give with an open heart, we create a world of endless abundance.